This is ZNS.
Welcome to What's Trending, the show keeping you in the know with all that's happening in lifestyle and entertainment. I'm your host, Stacey Campbell Marshall. Three quintessentially American companies, Starbucks, Nike's, and Boeing, share a common predicament at the moment. Each has a new CEO at the helm with a mission to clean house and critically return the brands to their former glory. None of them have an easy job ahead, and here's the tea. Preliminary earnings report reveal yet another quarter of falling sales at Starbucks. Its stock is down some 25% this year. Also, work stoppage is draining about $1 billion a month from Boeing. The company also reported a $6 billion third quarter loss, one of the largest in the company's history. Nike is in a similar boat. Its stock is down some 25% this year, and revenue fell 10% last quarter. Also, get this. Cat-sized rodents, which are called hero rats, are being used to sniff out landmines, tuberculosis, and even survivors among rubble in natural disaster zones. They are already being used by a Tanzania-based nonprofit company in the global illegal wildlife trade, estimated at $23 billion a year. Also, wildlife trafficking is the fourth largest illegal trade industry worldwide, following counterfeit products, drugs, and humans. And recently discovered comet that some stargazers had hoped to see during Halloween week has disintegrated the day before ghosts and ghouls. NASA confirmed its sun-observing spacecraft captured the moment when the comet Atlas broke into chunks this week as it passed close to the sun. Astronomers have been tracking the so-called Halloween comet since it was discovered in September by a telescope in Hawaii. On today's show, we have quite a bit for you. Here are the changes to the historic downtown Nassau. Also, it's Halloween. A police chief team is in studio offering tips for trick-or-treaters. And our weekend vibes introducing a unique place and special offers for the entire family. More after this break.
Good to go. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Sovereignty discussions took center stage recently as Director of Agriculture Dion Gibson gave an engaging speech at a Rotary Hybrid Club meeting.
Food security defined by the World Health Organization at the World Food Summit in 1996 said that when all people at all times have access to safe and nutritious food that support a healthy and active life, we have food security. Well, relatively speaking, the Bahamas and most other countries are actually food secure. Food sovereignty speaks to controlling your food, the sources of your food, and what you grow or what you allow into your country. We oftentimes are victim to dumping from larger countries. And so they would send, you may notice, items that are marked for export only. That quality is not the same as what they keep in country for their own population.
Gibson insists that country development relies ultimately on food sovereignty.
Samuel Johnson said, agriculture not only gives riches to a nation, but riches she can call her own. Why is that? The money stays in the country. We're not sending it out for food. We're not sending it out to another country when we purchase these things. So if we support our local farmers, local agriculture, we are then in turn building our country and adding to our GDP, adding to our economy, keeping those funds circulated right here at home.
That said, he encourages members to support local farmers.
So I'll ask each and every one of you, when last have you been to the farmers market on Gladstone Road? Or even the one that's held regularly at Dongalek Studios right down the road on Village Road. We can't say that we want to be a more food secure country or more food sovereignty when we ourselves are not doing our part. We can't expect a farmer to produce and not have customers and We, the consumers, want more local, but we don't look for it.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
There's a lot of capital work that must be done. But at the same time, art could now give you the visual impact that we're looking for. People are now looking every day. People stop here and say, wow, this is so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll take more, we'll look at more buildings. Some of them are in a state of disrepair. We're asking the owners to partner with us. We want to thank Mr. Murray, who was kind enough to let us use this building, and the other owners and the other spots that we actually picked. We're going to be doing a lot of this. We're going to revitalize Bay Street, but we're starting in the hardest area. The owners of the buildings that have left them must now come and step up. They must now partner with us to make this happen.
I am impressed with the Ministry of Tourism, the Honorable Chester Cooper, in the way he is taking this orange economy thing and has really infused it with the tourism product. He gets it. He understands that people travel for more than sun, sand, and sea, but for culture. People love to see art. Public space art is a movement that's happening around the world.
I just want to thank God for the experience, especially coming up as a young artist, you know what I mean? I was trying to get my work out there, you know, some way, somehow. But I do it through, throughout my lessons, throughout art education, whereas I teach it. And I also express myself through John Canoe.
People like to see what artists do, what they think, and be in that space. And as these artwork proliferate, the confluence would create a permanent outdoor exhibition that can be viewed from visitors and Bahamians alike.
And as people walk, you know what I mean, they'll be like, ooh, that's really nice. But once they see the effort and the creativity that goes within it, and they understand what they see, job well done.
The most exciting part about this project is the fact that artists who people don't know as well, this gives them the biggest canvas that any artist can ask for. This gives them an opportunity to create in a space that people will know their work and know their names.
I try to make sure that, you know, it is something different that what people have never seen before. You understand me? Because plenty of people are so tired of seeing the same old thing.
Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper is pushing this initiative. He said, let's talk, more work, let's get it done. He gave the team their marching orders. I want to thank my predecessors who saw the vision in doing this years ago. This just didn't happen overnight. But one of the things we have to do is execute, and that's what we're doing, making it happen.
The Downtown Nassau Redevelopment Project is dedicated to revitalizing and transforming the city of Nassau. The goal is to introduce a vibrant, attractive, and accessible hub for both residents and visitors, and to enhance the city's appeal as a cultural, historical, and economic center, reflecting the rich heritage of the Bahamas. In studio to discuss the works is the new manager for the Downtown Redevelopment Project, Mr. Anthony Bostwick. Hi, Mr. Bostwick.
How you doing, man?
Welcome to What's Trending. So listen, you have quite a task ahead. So let's first talk about some of the changes we're seeing downtown.
First of all, let me say thank you very much for having me, and I want to thank the Bahamas for allowing us to carry out the works on behalf of the Bahamian people. I'd like to also thank the Deputy Prime Minister for having the vision to drive this as we are doing now. What we're seeing happening downtown is the transformation, not only the capital works development, infrastructure rehabilitation, and also just bringing a different flavor into downtown. We have tried, my predecessors have tried so many things to bring downtown back to its prominence. Those of us between the age of 40 and, say, 60, know downtown in a different sphere. It was the commercial hub of where we went to get all our goods on a Saturday, or where our grandparents or our mothers took us. Now what we're seeing downtown is basically four things: either meeting of Parliament, traffic, traverse, and tourists, and the basic one or two people passing through. That has to change. It is the main street in our touristic capital. It is filled with history, and it's filled with a lot of things that can happen that is happening globally. That is why we introduced the murals. But the one thing we don't want to focus on is just, as we say in another space, putting lipstick on a pig.
Okay.
We have some capital work developments that must take place. We have some infrastructure rehabilitation that is essential in order for the flooding that has to be addressed on the eastern side of Bay Street, Dazzle Street area. These are very serious things that have deteriorated over the years. This has not happened just overnight.
Right.
This has been an ongoing for decades that we have allowed to slip away. But what we now have to do, our generation, we have to be bold enough to make the radical changes that are necessary to say, let's modernize this space. Are we prepared now to change the traffic? Are we prepared to make this a pedestrian downtown area? Are we prepared to see cafes along where taxi cabs now occupy 80% of the downtown space? All the agencies have to come together and work together in order for us to make this radical change. Our generation cannot be afraid to take downtown out of ICU and put it in the operating theater and fix it.
Okay.
Okay? And as the Deputy Prime Minister said, we have to have less talk and more action. The beauty of him is that he brings a business acumen to this.
All right.
He moves away from the political side and he brings a business side to the table. And he said, gentlemen, what is it going to take? What's the cost-benefit analysis? What are we going to do to bring this area back to its prominence? It's going to take us, our generation.
What are some of the challenges that you're encountering with, making some of these changes happen?
Well, we have a lot of historical buildings that are there that are tied up either in legal issues, family matters. We are actually speaking with some of the owners of some of the old properties. Many of them have left the Bahamas. Some don't even live in the Bahamas, but they collect rent in the Bahamas. And one of the things we have to do now, if you collect and rent downtown, you need to fix your building. You should at least join the stakeholders, come together. Now, I'll tell you this, offers have been made to a lot of them. And some of them have declined the offers, but yet still they have not fixed their buildings.
Right.
So what we are asking government to do is to step in with us. Let everybody partner together. Let's sit down with the owners and let's have a common sense discussion, because the only way we are going to fix this is all stakeholders come together.
Okay. So what kind of timeline are we talking about to accomplish some of these goals?
Well, first of all, like I said, the capital infrastructure works. That is being addressed right now by Ministry of Works. Okay. I can tell you the flooding is a major concern in the downtown area, and even now, one time ago, climate change was just a conversation. Now it's a reality. Tidal rise right now, it's different. You go down to Bay Street on the eastern end right now, you'll see in certain properties there's water coming up. Okay, so to his credit, the Minister of Works, Clay Sweeting, and his team, they're now looking at addressing the outfalls to make sure that they are kept to a point where water does not flow back into the area. Okay. And that's going to help us, but we're going to have to do some periodontal work. We're going to have to go into the ground. It's going to inconvenience a lot of people, but it is a necessity. So what can the public do to assist? Well, first of all, they have to be patient. Okay. First of all, they have to understand that this is a team effort. Everybody has a stake in downtown, because we average 25,000 to 30,000 people a week in that space. Okay. Okay? We have to think about bathroom facilities. We have to think about getting rid of the rodents that seem to take up a permanent place in the downtown area. So those who are in the food industry, those who get rid of their garbage, must do so in a much more professional way. Okay. And then for nightlife and entertainment, okay, we must create parking. See, because first of all, the commercial aspect of downtown shifted late 70s, 80s to Town Center Mall, Mall of Marathon, Carmichael, City 2000, etc. So our generation used to go downtown, don't go downtown no more. And secondly, you can't park downtown. Right. So we have to look at all of these things, and we cannot be afraid to go up. We're Island 21/7, so there's real estate in the sky. Okay. We cannot be afraid to be able to be downtown and look in the penthouse over in Atlantis at the same level. Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Boswick, this is a very exciting project, and I thank you so much for your time, and we'll be following along. All right.
Yeah, and I must say, in closing, the Bahamas have been given a gift. Those artists,
Yes.
from Jamal Rule, Rashid Demerit, Terrell Williams, Candia Coakley, and Miss Richfield, Miss Wallace Richfield.
Yes.
We have been given a gift, Angelica.
Absolutely.
And they're going to help us to put a new face in the downtown space.
I am so excited about it.
Yes.
And What's Trending will return in just a moment.
Got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
From paradise to paradise, Bahamas Air invites you to embark on a seamless island journey from the sun-kissed coast of Nassau, the Bahamas, to the rhythmic shores of Montego Bay, Jamaica. Soar high above a turquoise tapestry on the most trusted airline in the Caribbean. Our inaugural flight takes wing on November 17th, 2024. Don't delay. Book your idyllic escape today.
The Bahamas Tourism Development Creative Council is seeking to promote unique Bahamian culture, creative initiatives to attract interest from art projects, cultural events, and community-driven tourism experiences. The council is chaired by Karel Pinder, a Bahamian filmmaker and president of the Star Film Institute. Karel is here in studio today to speak with us about building the local arts community. Hi, Karel, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell me, what are some of the initiatives underway to attract Bahamians to the business?
So the Creative Council has put in place a job apprentice program. So that's for persons between the age of 18 to 25 to shadow people that are in the creative professional business. We have also done a collaboration with Crypto Isle where we had Hump Day Huddle, where we had these conversations with those in the business to learn about what they do. And they also support initiatives like the Star Film Institute, which was created to help future filmmakers and playwrights who want to get in the business. A lot of times people have an idea. I want to write a play. I want to do a film. But how? I don't know anybody. I don't have any money. How do I do it? So a year ago, well, 2 years ago, I got together with other creative professionals to start this nonprofit, Star, for persons who wanted to get in the industry, because that's how I got my start as a playwright in 2011. I entered a competition. This helps someone to come in with an idea, and then we match them with other people in the industry, and they take that idea, they write that script, they bring the team together. For those in film, they shoot their final piece, and for those who are playwrights, they put up their stage play, and then we screen the films. And it's a full circle moment, because also in the creative industry, we have the Bahamas Film Festival coming up, and now someone who was in our program last year who started with an idea and finished at the end with her film can now enter that film into the film festival. So it's the bridge that gives Bahamians who want to be in the creative field that training, that mentorship, that guidance to do what they want to do.
Okay, so speaking about playwrights, I know that you wrote a play and it's premiering this weekend. Tell us about that.
Yes, so I wrote a play. It's called The Affair. When Michaela Forbes came to me, she wanted to do a collaboration. She's also a known playwright. I was saying I'm so devoted to trying to pour back into these other playwrights and filmmakers who are coming up. But when she talked to me about wanting to do a play that talked about love, talked about, you know, some scandals, some drama, some laugh, a lot of things that Bahamians go through. And it dealt with a lot with marriage and relationships, and a lot of the themes that I've talked about before deal with relationships. I said, great, so it's The Affair. It happens this Saturday at Bahamas Harvest. It's 8 o'clock. And so on our social media pages, The Affair on Instagram and The Affair on Facebook, people can find out more information about tickets, because there's still some general online. VIP is now sold out.
Okay. Yes, we're wishing you the best with that. And where can they find out more about the Star Institute?
So the Star Film Institute, they they can put in Star Film in Google, Star Film Bahamas, and they can find out a little more about the Star Film Institute, or they can go on our social media pages on Facebook and just put in the Star Film Institute. We are in the middle of our second year, and one of the great things I want to say about Star is we got someone whose music, because we have to have Bahamian music in the films, and his Bahamian music debuted on an international streaming platform TV show because one of our judges heard it. And now we have that success story. After year one, a Bahamian musical artist, his song is now in an international streaming show.
Oh, that's amazing. So important work that you're doing. Thank you very much for all you do. And thanks for coming on What's Trending. We'll be right back after this.
I find your red kidney bean with coconut milk to be absolutely wonderful. The flavor within the coconut milk just make the rice stand out even more.
It's been 30 years, and for as long as I've known you, I've always enjoyed your products, especially your coconut water. It's the closest thing to getting it fresh out of the coconut itself. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this delicious coconut water. It's the best on the market.
JBI coconut water has always been my choice of coconut water because it's just the closest thing to the natural thing. They're always on stock, and I love it.
Try JBI.
Happy anniversary, JBI.
Congratulations on your 30th year.
Happy anniversary, JBI.
Thank you, Bahamas.
Halloween is characterized by activities such as trick-or-treating, costume wearing, pumpkin carving, and decorating homes with spooky themes. While the celebrations can be fun, there are some negatives you would want to avoid. In studio to provide Halloween safety tips are Police Inspector Desiree Ferguson and Police Corporal Rory Fox from the Public Affairs Division of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. We welcome both of you to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So let's start with you, Inspector Ferguson. How critical is it not to let your guard down on Halloween night?
Well, it's very critical. We emphasize, or we can't emphasize enough, safety. We stress vigilance for everyone to be vigilant of their surroundings, particularly because we know that this is the opportunity the criminal element used to create mischief and go against societal orders. And so we want to encourage persons who may be out and about enjoying Halloween to do so safely and also responsibly, because safety for our residents and communities, the community partners are alike, that is paramount for us.
So as parents, tell me what advice that you would send out, because, you know, we want our kids to have a good time, and we don't want to be the helicopter parents, but what advice do you give?
Definitely, we want to send stirring warnings out to parents, particularly because we know children are going to engage in trick-or-treating. We want them to not send their children alone, but accompany the children. And if you cannot go out, send them with a trusted adult, or send them with someone that's responsible, because we want to ensure that there's no incidents occurring, or they're not put in any potential danger. And so ensuring that they go about with trusted persons, ensuring that when they trick-or-treat, they do so safely but also responsibly. And again, this is an opportunity. We know that children, this is the time they tend to engage in a little bit of mischief. We know that some of them probably had eggs buried for weeks on end to engage in egg fights and things of that nature. And so we want to heavily discourage that, because we do know that throwing missiles such as eggs and those things can cause damage and injury. Missiles don't have eyes. And so to avoid all that, we want to send a stern warning out to parents to really speak to your children to, once they engage in those activities, do so safely but responsibly, so they don't find themselves liable for any damage to person's property or residence or injury.
So Corporal Fox, what concerns would you want to share?
Okay, so to piggyback on what she said, things such as visibility plays a key. So it might be a little bit too late for some parents because they probably already purchased their Halloween costumes. However, reflective wear on the costume is important, as well as flashlights. If you already purchased a costume that doesn't have any reflective wear, I would advise you to get flashlights. Also, the crossings, all right, other known as pedestrian crossing, or some persons call it crossways. For the parents out there, what I would advise them to do is with the children is advise them to use the crossings whenever they're crossing the streets as a horizontal line for some motorists that are not familiar. And also as a tip to the parents as well as the children is the minute you enter that safety crossing, the pedestrian crossing, you have the right of way. Motorists who are unaware, once somebody is at the crossing, you have to adhere and slow down, and you have to stop. They take precedence over you, so that's something that I would like to share.
Okay, so let's talk about curfew, because you know sometimes these, especially the older kids, they want to hang out late. What kind of curfew would you advise parents to keep tonight?
Well, me personally, but I would say tomorrow still is a school day, all right? So the curfew, I would advise about 10 o'clock is a good enough time, depending on the area where you're trick-or-treating. I know some gated communities, certain areas, they have a set time. 10 o'clock is a safe enough time to get your children back home safely as well as have them inside bed. That's my advice for 10 p.m.
All right, so any final advice for the trick-or-treaters?
Yes, definitely. I want to ensure, or well, admonish parents, even though they're trick-or-treating, whatever items they receive, ensure that you check the labeling. Allow them not to consume it immediately, but please check, recheck labels. We do know that persons disguise candies in different forms. We have the edible marijuanas and things of that nature that could be potentially harmful for our kids, and so we want to avoid any potential danger. So we're encouraging parents. We know our children are very intelligent, they're very intuitive, but again, parents to recheck, double check the packaging to ensure that whatever your child is consuming, it is what the label says it is.
Good. This is you know, priceless information. We thank you all so much for that. And we hope everyone out there has a really fun-filled evening. And we thank you for your time on What's Trending.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nassau Cruise Port presents a Portcalypse 2. Join a night full of thrills, chills, and unforgettable fun. Are you ready to kick off Halloween in style? On Thursday, October 31st from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m., get ready for some amazing costume karaoke where you can show off your talent and creativity. Remember, there are prizes for the best costumes, so make sure you strut your stuff. Ruma, the entertainer, and DJ Kenny will be there to help you unleash your inner monster. Also in attendance, a fantastic music lineup featuring DJ Kenny, Pusha, Junior, Lil Giant, and One Time to keep the energy high. That's Thursday, October 31st, only $10 for entry at the Nassau Cruise Port from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. for a Portcalypse 2. You don't want to miss it. We're taking you to the Balmoral Club, a luxury residential and lifestyle upscale living facility with exclusive amenities to promote a relaxed and healthy atmosphere. The Balmoral Club, just minutes away from downtown Nassau, is offering two key events on November 2nd and the 9th.
We are doing a number of events to, in fact, attract the public, but not just to attract them to the event, but to attract them to the club, to sell and present them with membership.
The Balmoral Club offers a range of social and recreational activities tailored for residents and club members to foster a vibrant community atmosphere. Its yoga and farmers market events are viewed as popular community activities while providing fresh local produce and artisanal products. For a total mind experience, the yoga sessions are held in tranquil settings dedicated to wellness.
Well, the driving force behind Yoga on the Lawn is what the club itself is about. We like to say that we don't sell food and beverage. What we sell is a lifestyle. And us as Bahamians, us as people, we need to take care of our life and our style and the way we live. And so it's a health initiative. You would be amazed to know who's inflexible and who needs more stretching and yoga and the likes.
The club's farmers market is located with a range of benefits, giving shoppers a great choice for healthier, more sustainable, and enjoyable food sourcing.
We believe as a business, we believe in building other businesses and creating unique experiences for our members and our guests. And this is actually going to be the third such market that we've had. And what the experience is it's a variety of products, a variety of produce, vegetables, and then native craft. Someone said to me at the first one, they came with their wife, and typically he said, boy, I don't go to farmers markets and whatnot. He said, but your market's so bougie, I had to come and see what it's about. And he came out and he actually spent 4 to 5 hours here that day, along with his wife and friends. So it's also a good time to network and socialize as well.
From paradise to paradise, Bahamas Air invites you to embark on a seamless island journey from the sun-kissed coast of Nassau, the Bahamas, to the rhythmic shores of Montego Bay, Jamaica. Soar high above a turquoise tapestry on the most trusted airline